Welcome again to my London garden. It's November and I've started wrapping up some of the plants for winter, so I'll show you a few of them now. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to show you my last attempt to coax a little growth out of the very resistant Brazilian palm, the Butia Odorata, that suffered when I moved from the old house to here. I've put a screen of reflective silver paper behind it to reflect the sun, to bring it more heat. It's now mid-November, so I'm not going to get much growth out of it. The daytime temperatures are about 15 and the night temperatures are about 10, so I think it's just gone below its limit for growing. But just in case there's a little growth left in there, I've decided to try and to keep that silver paper around it and coax a little bit of extra growth out of the leaf. The leaf did finally come out in full, and there it is, the one single leaf of the season. And an additional reason for it to be suffering was that it had damp roots, and so I put hydrogen peroxide on it and cleaned it up with the hydrogen peroxide, and then I sprayed it with some teak oil to give the dry wood some moisture, and put loads of extra pebbles and bricks around it to keep the rain off it, so hopefully the root rot will dry out and recover. Okay, now on to the winter wrapping. The first one that I did was the cycad, the Cycas revoluta, and I put 4 uprights of wood and screwed them to the trough that it was already in. Sorry, not screwed, look, I bolted them so that I don't have to make holes in the wood with screws, so I just put clamps on all the corners, and then I put a bit of corrugated perspex on the top and a bit of perspex on the side here, and the plant gets, as you can see, gets sheltered from the 4 walls and the fence, and the front is shielded by the perspex. I've done the same with the other one, but I haven't got around to putting the perspex on the front yet, but that's where the second one will be. And then the other one that needs wrapping up is the banana. This is the hardy species of banana, Musa baju, and you can see I've begun to wrap it up, and in a couple of weeks' time I'm going to chop all the leaves off and just cover from here, yes, from about there, and cover all that with something that will let the moisture out, a green fleece bag, or 2 layers of green fleece bag on the top, but the rest of it will stay, as you can see there. Now the other plant that I've started wrapping up is the large Washingtonia Robusta at the end of the garden. This one here, which I have in a permanent frame. And what I did was put a greenhouse heavy-duty cover over the existing wooden frame, and that will keep the rain and snow off it during winter. Let's have a look inside here, you can see better. So that is what it looks like on the interior. So that should keep the worst of the winter weather off it. I'm not worried about the trunk. It needs plenty of aeration. I don't really want to wrap that up. It's enough that it has the cover over the top. If you don't cover these plants in London, they will survive the winter, because they're hardy down to about -5. But the drawback is that all the leaves die and go completely brown, and then in spring you're just left with a bare trunk, and you've got to grow all the leaves from scratch. So that's not a good idea. So it's really best to give them some protection, and then in spring, when you take the cover off, you've got some green growth already there. And let me see if there are any other plants that need wrapping. Oh yes, there is one. It's the new one, Moroccan blue, Camarops cerifera. The only protection needed for these other plants is the baby shoot. The centre shoot in the centre that's unopened, I usually like to wrap those up. This one, for instance, here, I just put a fleece bag over every palm that has an unopened shoot, and the rest of it can just stay out and survive the English winters. This pot, however, is going to need some bubble wrap around the pot itself, because when plants are in pots, they're much more vulnerable to cold than when they're in the ground, because the earth keeps them a lot warmer than when they're in pots. So this one will need the pot wrapping up, but as for the leaves, I'll only cover the baby shoot with a garden fleece bag. So there you have it. Okay folks, thanks for watching, and I'll update you sometime soon. Bye bye.